I'm going to be doing a video on basic Jamberry Nail Wrap application, and you can see the supplies that I have here. A heat source, and your wraps or lacquer that you're going to be using today. So what I have here is a few, these two I've already done, and then this one has copper penny over it. This one we're going to put just the wrap on, and then we're going to put the wrap over these two nail polishes here. So let's get started with the basic application over a bare nail.
It's very important to make sure that your nail surface is as clean as possible. Wiping your nail with alcohol or washing it with warm soap and water. Also want to make sure that you're removing any cuticle that may be on your nail. You don't want anything to be on the surface of your nail when you stick your wrap on it. I also use my file to lightly rough up the surface of my nail. It doesn't damage it, but it just helps to give a good surface. Also removes any hidden cuticle. Buffing is helpful as well. The next thing you want to do is choose a size for your nail. When choosing a size, use the clear backing to measure the different wraps against the nail surface that you're wanting to apply your wrap to. It's a good idea to choose a size that's slightly smaller than the nail surface that you are applying the wrap to. You do not want the wrap to touch your cuticle or skin because the oil from your skin is going to deactivate some of the adhesive and it won't stick very well. You can see here that I'm cutting the wrap just by bending it back on the clear sheet, again trying not to touch it with my fingers. If some of the wraps don't fit your finger, take a pair of scissors and trim them down to get a perfect size. Now that you've chosen a wrap for your finger, you need to heat it up before we put it on. Go ahead and use your hairdryer or the mini heater here for just a few seconds. You see that the wrap kind of curls up a little bit as it becomes more pliable when the heat is applied. And I'm going to put it on the nail surface, again, keeping it away from the sides of my finger and the cuticle. If you need to replace it, no big deal, you can pick it up. If it starts to get stiff, just put a little heat back on it and it becomes pliable again. It's very important to smooth all around the nail, especially around your cuticle and sides. And you'll see in a moment some suggested smoothing directions that help to minimize creasing and bubbles. You can do this with just your fingers. You don't have to use the tool that I use here, but it's very helpful in getting a good seal. This is a great way to minimize bubbles and creasing. Start by smoothing the middle of the wrap up and down, then the bottom left and right corners, the top left and right corners, and then finally the midsection. Something else that I found to be very helpful is the pull and cool method. It's leaving a little bit of excess at the end of your nail to pull after it's been applied. The nail wraps are durable. You're not going to hurt them in any way. They won't rip. What you're doing is straightening, evening out the wrap. By pulling it down over your nail, you're ironing everything out. Then you let it sit before you trim it so the adhesive cools. Once it cools, it becomes stiff and hard. You see that right there? It's nice and hard and it's ready to be trimmed. The adhesive is nice and stuck on your nail. So what you're going to want to do is either trim the excess off with clippers, scissors, or just regular nail clippers. Once you're done clipping the excess off, you're ready to smooth it out with a file. You're just going to use a downward motion only, and you're going to do it at a slight angle. This is going to take off any tiny bit of wrap that may remain at the tip of your nail. It's also going to expose a little bit of your regular nail at the tip to where if you bump up against something, rub up against something, you're not scratching your wrap. Your nail is protecting it, so it helps to eliminate the possibility of creasing, snagging, ripping, all those types of things. Once you've done that, give it the jeans test. Scratch your nails up against your jeans. If there's no drag, then they're ready to go. And that's it. You're all set. You can wash dishes, take a shower, garden, craft, whatever you'd like to do. You've got great nails for up to 2 weeks.